Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. The life-changing move in XRP, it is in motion. Despite the fact that XRP has been mostly moving sideways the last several days with the rest of the market, don't be fooled. And it's so interesting to see because there are tons of people on social media just throwing a complete fit, effectively screaming that the top is in, it's all over, and it's crazy to me. We've been through so much worse than this. And if you have some damn historical perspective, you'd recognize that is not remotely probable, and I'm going to give you a ton of reasons why this is the case and talk a bit about just how high XRP could go in the relatively short term, because frankly, there's not that much time left in this cycle if history is going to rhyme with itself. It's all going to be over in the coming months. And that's just fine by me, because this is the time where we have our opportunity to achieve that life-changing wealth. We really, finally, are that close. This is not the time to be afraid, though. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. As I record this video, it is 1:44 p.m. Central Time, Tuesday, January 21st, 2025. XRP is $3.18. Bitcoin at $106,639. So a little bit of green across the board, you may notice as I scroll through the top 50 coins by market cap on Live Coin Watch. Happy to see that. Here's a post from Crypto Michael this morning. And he's one of the analysts that, by the way, accurately called throughout 2024, accurately called what was happening in the XRP charts and absolutely saw that there was going to be a massive break to the upside for XRP. He did accurately call that XRP was consolidating inside of a nearly 7-year-long symmetrical triangle. He's one of the many analysts I followed that nailed it. And he's like, nope, this ain't done. And it's just so interesting because out of the analysts that I follow, which I personally believe are analysts that have a pretty damn high hit rate, hit rate. None of them are going to get everything perfectly right. Everyone's human. And then it's also about probabilities anyway, and sometimes the improbable happens. But it's just interesting to me that the analysts that I follow, even if you're just talking about the XRP chart analysts, all of them who called the break for XRP, none of them think that this party is over. None of them. Literally zero of them. And so again, when he says here, the entire crypto market is coiled and primed, ready for a major move, worth listening here. So let's talk about some reasons why. First of all, how about Bitcoin? Here's a post from chart analyst Dr. Magic, another guy who called the XRP breakout in November. The chart on your screen here is Bitcoin, total balance and balance change of large holders, 1,000 to 10,000 balance. So the purple line is showing the balance of in Bitcoin wallets on chain. And you can see if it goes up or if it goes down. So what we're tracking here specifically, these would be large holders, of course. They're holding anywhere from 1,000 to 10,000 Bitcoin in a wallet. And then the white line here, that's just the price for Bitcoin. And so here's what Dr. Magic had to say. Haven't posted this chart for a long time because there wasn't anything to update on. Bitcoin whale holdings have printed a new cycle high. Have fun trying to dump on them if you believe that cycle is over. So look at this, because this is going back to 2017, this chart. This is a new cycle high. Look at where we are right now. Do whales buy the top? The answer is no. Whales do not buy the top. Let me ask you another question. When we're at the top of a market in euphoria, and this is probably going to give away the way I just described it, are people afraid? When the market is ripping to the upside, and it's the peak, and we're at the tippy top, are people afraid? The answer is no. People are afraid now, though, right? And whales have been purchasing. They've got, look at what they're holding, Bitcoin, and Bitcoin leads the market. These are metrics you can look at, top indicators, but they're not indicating the top right now, are they? These metrics are not indicating the top. They will. We're going to get there, probably in relatively short order, which is why we got to, be very careful and really stay in tune with what's happening in the market in these next several months, roughly speaking. But we're not there yet. This whole market's going to rip, led by Bitcoin. It's probably going to hit another all-time high. I don't know how high it's going to go. Many analysts think at least $150,000. XRP is going to blaze past it even further. It's just going to rip Bitcoin performance to shreds. XRP is just a truly dominant force this market cycle. Altcoins on the whole are going to do, broadly speaking, the same thing. It's a question of degree. XRP has been substantially outperforming lately. But this is what you want to see. Here's a post from chart analyst Mustache, and he's got a chart schematic in the top right here. It's Wyckoff distribution. And that's what he thinks that we're in right now for Tether. So with the chart on your screen here, it's the market cap Tether dominance percentage chart. And this is going back to, it looks like 2021. And he says, hashtag altcoins. That is why I believe that the cycle is not over yet. Tether dominance runs through a picture book Wyckoff distribution schematic here, in my opinion. Markdown is the next stage, which means crypto up. Okay, so why is he saying that? Why is he saying that if the Tether chart goes down, that that's good for altcoins? Because what happens is when people get rid of their Tether, they're buying other crypto with it. They're typically not cashing out to United States dollars or whatever fiat currency you may have it be used in a particular geographic region. They're buying altcoins. So if he is indeed correct, it's one more thing you can look at to indicate, oh, okay, distribution of Tether going into distributing to what? To altcoins. So historically, that is indeed what happens, especially at a phase like this in the cycle, when you have that euphoric blow off top, which really is at hand, if history's rhyme with itself. And he says that the chart schematic on the top right here, that is what we're playing through right now, which means Tether dominance goes way down and the dominance of everything else goes way up. Here's another post. This one's from a chart analyst, Mikey Bull Crypto. And I got a few, this is about Ethereum, and this is important though. Even if you care most about XRP, as is the case for me, it's my largest individual holding by a ton. I mean, at this point, XRP is run up high enough that it does account for a little over half of my total crypto holdings. That's how ridiculous it's gotten for me. Because I bought heavy. I dollar cost averaging for years, and then to cap it off, I made some really large purchases towards the tail end in 2020, and then I just been holding. And so now it's a ridiculous percentage of my overall net worth, but I'm here for it. Like, I'm very happy for it. But I care about what's happening with ETH, not just because I hold ETH, but because it's an indicator historically. If ETH is going to take off, you know what follows? Everything else for the mania. So look at this ETH BTC chart. This is from Mikey Bull Crypto. ETH BTC flashed a macro buy signal on a critical support. This is likely a final macro bottom. But if it loses support, then I'm out for good. Q1 is usually bullish for it, so let's see. Okay, that's important. So ETH priced against Bitcoin looks like it's kind of bottoming out here. And so check out this. It's just so hilarious to me. This is a post from Credible Crypto. He wrote, Ethereum seems to be getting the XRP treatment now, with hate being thrown at it from every direction because price has been going sideways for a year. Fascinating to see. Don't worry, ETH loyalists. Once number goes up, the hate will mysteriously vanish. Okay, that is so spot on. And I was thinking about this recently. So if you go back a year ago, this is the sentiment that we had, especially if you're talking like, you know, March, April, May, June, especially around there, it was just really high. Some of the most negative sentiment that I've ever seen in the XRP community. Very, very, very low, right? And that says XRP was bottoming out against Bitcoin. It was on its way. So for much of the year, frankly, because we were moving sideways and down against Bitcoin, just really, really negative sentiment. And now the sentiment, it's really high. Nobody's bitching up a storm about XRP anymore because, I mean, it's rare now because the price is so much higher. And the opportunity was a year ago when the sentiment was crap. See how humans work? And so now that same sentiment is within the Ethereum community. But this will look back, like people will look back on this moment and be like, that was a reasonable moment of opportunity for anybody in the space at the time. That's what people will look back and say, because this thing's going to go. It's going to rip to the upside. This is always what happens. And ETH leads alts. Just wait until this goes. So the same hate that XRP holders, were spewing about where XRP price performance, especially against Bitcoin, all of that we had to deal with for much of 2024, frankly, that's what Ethereum holders are going through right now. That's what they're displaying on the internet, just whining up a storm on social media. But look, it's just how humans are going to behave. It's a point of great opportunity. They don't know that, so they whine because they want it to be worth more. That's what humans do. It's just what humans do. And you don't see that at cycle tops, folks. That's not what you see. Here's another post. This is from Chart Analyst Mailius. He's talking about ETH. Here's the Ethereum USD chart. He says, bottom on Ethereum being in is my initial scenario with 1 week relative strength index slowly turning around. If red path will be taken, and you'll just have to look at the screen to see what he's talking about. He's acknowledging that it could go a bit lower first. But a lot of analysts do think that this is more or less the bottom. He says, if the red path is taken, nothing wrong with that. The amount of hate this coin is getting lately makes me believe once it gets going, it will go for real. And so, folks, this is what I keep saying, and I said it throughout 2024 with XRP. The market will always find a bottom, unless we're actually wrong and it's going to zero, unless it's one of those situations. But that's what I kept saying throughout 2024. Unless it's going to zero, it's going to go up with the rest of the market. And XRP has tremendous utility, so the idea of it going to zero is just completely stupid. Similarly with ETH, okay, like, eventually markets find bottoms. You know, ETH is going to find a local bottom on against the dollar and against Bitcoin. That always happens. Because it's just liquidity flowing through spaces. It's a global liquidity thing, folks. That's why these asset classes move in tandem. You know, I'm saying crypto literally moves in tandem with the stock market, and then altcoins move in tandem with Bitcoin. Broadly speaking, if you zoom out enough, you can see that. Anyway, and then he says, the amount of hate this coin is getting lately makes me believe once it gets going, it will go for real. I can understand the hate after it's underperforming Bitcoin and a few majors big time, but cannot understand people do not take just a bit more time to see that structurally it doesn't look bad at all. Then we got this. He said, then we have ETH dominance, which looks to be bottoming as well, showing you inverted chart because it will simply look better to my eyes with 1 week relative strength index, bullish divergence in play, apply to non-inverted chart. And so there you go. Tons of analysts that I follow, and I just started following this guy more recently, but I keep seeing this, that they all think that this thing's bottoming out and it's going to go, and everything else lines up. It makes sense. Here's a post from the blockchain backer sharing his most recent video from today. Bull flag in motion on XRP price chart as Bitcoin, altcoin market, and total backtest Ethereum setup. And so he was arguing in part, and I think this was kind of a key takeaway, that XRP is basically in its second bull flag that we're going to break soon. And he even said perhaps it could be by the end of this week, just based on how the structure looks. So don't hold him to that. It wasn't some sort of time prediction or something like that. He's just saying, based on how bull flags take, and he compared it to what the first bull flag looked like, which we've already broken out of. He says this thing's going to go sooner than later. So even if it's not this week, what if it's next week? Okay, but fine. But it's coming sooner than later. And by the way, he did talk a little bit about Ethereum, and I think a key takeaway there is that he also thinks that more or less this thing's bottoming out, and it's going to be moving up to whatever level in short order, let's say. So that's yet another analyst, a reputable analyst. I think he's one of the best in the space, and he's saying the same thing effectively about Ethereum, and he's calling for XRP to break to the upside. And you should check out his video. He went into great detail. If you're interested in the technical analysis, he had a great breakdown in his brand new video from this morning. I'm sure a lot of you have seen it by now. Great breakdown. But this is what I keep seeing from analysts who don't suck. This is what I keep seeing. Here's a post from chart analyst Steph is Crypto. XRP bull flag still active. Technical price target $14. And so he's anticipating that things going to break up much higher as well. Here's a post from chart analyst Ali Martinez, and he said XRP has broken out of a bullish flag and now targets $4.40. And that was last night. Now, even if he's wrong about it literally breaking out this second, it looks like he's probably accurately calling that this is a bull flag here, because that's what I keep seeing from a ton of different analysts. So even if it's not literally the second, because again, he posted it last night, so what? He still firmly believes that that's what this structure is and that it is going to move to the upside. Here's a post from another one from Mikey Bull Crypto here, XRP USD chart. He said, XRP still remains one of the strongest bullish charts out there. The next level to target from now is $4. So again, it is what I keep seeing. Here's a post from chart analyst Crypto Wizard, XRP BTC chart here. And this is fascinating because look at this price action. It's showing what happened. Well, the most interesting part is what happened November of 2024 up until where we are right now. And he wrote, XRP's next wave. How on earth can you be bearish here? Facepalm emoji. XRP is gearing up for a huge rally, and its fuel is XRP BTC, which is currently flipping a 45-day resistance as support. $4 is coming. So again, XRP BTC chart, XRP pricing against Bitcoin. You can see how after the election, obviously, started just rocketing. And then it came back down a little bit and consolidated throughout the rest of the year, rest of December. And then it's popped up, obviously, as XRP recently hit its new all-time high against the dollar. It was also ripping to the upside against Bitcoin. But look, look at that local top in the beginning of December. Because you know what happened there. That's when XRP was about $2.90. And so it was like a multi-year high against Bitcoin at that point. Then it did go back down, but then it went back up, and it just blazed through that resistance level there, which formed on December 2nd, blazed to the upside, and then it's just come back down, as you frequently see in charts. And I'm not a chart guy, but I know that's just because I've been watching enough this for years. What he's saying here is it blazed through this, came back to the downside, is testing what was resistance now as support. Assuming that succeeds, to the upside. And we're in a bull market, so what's most probable? I would certainly argue a move to the upside. And he says $4 is coming. This is the recurring thing. Like I keep seeing it over and over and over again, and I don't see this type of messaging from the XRP chart analysts that I follow for most moments in time. But here we are at a time where it makes sense for them to all be in unison, screaming roughly the same thing. What do you think happens next? Here's a post from chart analyst Dark Defender. $3 will be history forever. Yeah. What he means there very obviously is that, yeah, the price of $3, yeah, that's history. Look what he's projecting. In short order, a move upward to $5.85. I will not be surprised when that comes to pass. Here's a post from chart analyst E. Greg Crypto, and it's a market cap XRP dominance percentage chart. And I want to share with you some of what he wrote here. He said, the dominance of XRP is on the rise, and here's why. Adoption is increasing, usage is growing, frictionless environment, the regulatory landscape is supportive, and velocity is picking up. Yeah, and so all that makes sense. Having legal clarity is of very material importance. You saw what happened when we didn't have that last cycle. Very clearly, we're in a bull run. It's been running. Demand has been increasing substantially. Liquidity flowing into crypto. XRP a primary beneficiary of that. And then he says, with all these factors, the kinetic energy of XRP will surge. This momentum is crucial as we may aim for a 20% market share. We only need a 310% move in correlation to the 2015 surge from our current dominance. In the meantime, let's focus on closing above 6.1%. I truly believe that once we achieve this, the kinetic energy will propel us forward. So once we get there, because I will not be surprised if this ends up happening, I'll not be surprised. Based on what the market cap for crypto is right now, if we're at that level, that level right there, dominance, what's it, 20.39%. Look at that level. That would mean that XRP would be worth, according to what he wrote here, was this $15.57 if I'm reading this correctly? Massive, absolutely massive. And that's not a crazy percentage, frankly. I mean, we'll see if we hit that. And also, don't forget, even if the lower percentage, it's not going to matter, because imagine the market cap for crypto is double what it is. Well, then 15% means a lot more in terms of United States dollars, doesn't it? 15% of a bigger number is more dollars, right? So I think that the crypto pie gets way, way, way bigger. So we'll see where this gets. And even if the dominance never gets to 20%, it doesn't mean they can't hit those levels. Because there's going to be more money sloshing through the entire space. I mean, it seems so obvious to me that what is most probable, though fine, technically not certain, is that the best by a long shot is yet ahead. The next several months are going to be absolutely buck wild. So now you can see why it doesn't make sense to be freaking out. It makes sense to be excited here. And there are so many people on social media just crying and bitching up a storm and capitulating. And you know what? You'll love to see it. Not because I want people to suffer or anything like that. They get to feel how they want to feel, and they've done their research, allegedly, or maybe they haven't, and that's why they feel this way. But either way, the reason I say that is because it's a sign. It's a sign that the top is not in. Then there's this big ass sea full of tons of signs just floating around out there. I don't know what's going to break, but XRP is going to enter face-melting discovery. That's what's next. We already hit the all-time high. Next is face-melting price discovery. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because if anything I say are right, that would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.